Welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment as the Green Bay Packers dominate the New York Giants 38-13. And man, I'll be honest, I had the Giants winning this game, and I thought it was because, hey, the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl last year through their defense. I've seen other teams in the past win in the playoffs because of their defense. Why can't the Giants do it? And I forgot two proper names. Aaron Rodgers, who is absolutely incredible. And there are some other factors as well. I mean, there's plenty of factors when you lose by 25 points. But first, let's get to the whole boat/yacht thing because it's just hilarious and we need to talk about it. So in case you don't know, the Giants wide receiving core, including Odell Beckham, I believe Sterling Shepard, and some other players, were out in Miami. I believe Monday night or Monday, throughout Monday, Sunday, something like that, after the win against the Washington Redskins, okay? And everyone was talking about this during the week and saying whether or not it would distract them. And without a doubt, guys, it did. I mean, you just have to be honest. Unless if this is one hell of a coincidence, it absolutely affected the wide receiving core this week. You just can't refute the evidence. As Odell Beckham Jr. with 2 drops today, and he is a wide receiver that can drop the football. I mean, he does have, I think he has like 6 drops in the regular season this season. I mean, that's a sizable amount, but never more than 1 drop a game. So you're talking about 2 drops. An argument could be made for 3 drops, but I'm not going to give him credit for the drop on the last one that he had to jump for. I'm not going to give him credit for that drop. But 2 drops today during the first drive that were egregious. I mean, absolutely egregious drops. One of them should have been a touchdown. Terrible drops by Odell Beckham. And he just looked mentally weak out there today. He looked like mentally weak, physically weak. He couldn't stand the cold weather. He wasn't in it to me. Normally people are upset whenever he's yelling and throwing stuff and getting upset. I didn't even see that today. I wanted to see it. Dude, do you care? Where's your head at today? And I think not necessarily because of that whole Miami thing, because that was a while ago, but I think he was already thinking in his head, oh man, people are going to go back to that. People are going to be criticizing me during the week. Oh man, I'm down in the dumps and whatever. He looked, below average today, to say the least. Sterling Shepard had a number of drops today as well. And a wide receiver that was not on the boat, not on the yacht, and Tavares King was the best wide receiver for the Giants today. I mean, guys, that's just evidence right there. I mean, intuitively, you can say, oh, it shouldn't affect them. It was 6 days ago, but the results, the evidence, it's there. I mean, yes, I may say that, hey, I have an exam tomorrow. I don't need to get sleep. And then if I don't do on the exam, I can say, well, it's just because I didn't do well. The sleep had nothing to do with it. But then if the other people that got sleep did well, then there's something there. So that's bad. But in terms of the actual game, you have to look at Aaron Rodgers, man, and just say, man, this guy is fantastic. And he was my MVP before this game. Just go back and watch my Packers Lions recap. He's my MVP, most valuable player, period. Okay? I don't care about this game. I mean, I care about it, but he was already my MVP. And the interesting thing is, although, you're supposed to look at just the regular season, don't be surprised now if he gets more votes, okay, for MVP. He was fantastic. 4 touchdowns today in a playoff game, guys. That's just sensational. It's almost unheard of. I mean, 4 passing touchdowns in the playoffs. He has accounted for 48 touchdowns this year for the Green Bay Packers. Of their 55 touchdowns as a team, the guy's incredible, sensational, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. And his wide receivers, let's give them credit as well. As Randall Cobb stepped up, as Devontae Adams stepped up today. You saw a lot of these guys step up. Jordy Nelson got injured, and then some other guys stepped up. Geronimo Allison got a nice catch in there, and he was open for another one that Rodgers actually missed. Jared Cook even played well. He is catching the ball well this year. It's a surprise to me, but it's true. This Packers team was crisp. They were sound today, and this Giants team was not. Okay, again, the wide receivers were lackluster, to say the least, lackadaisical. You look at their defense. I was not impressed by Trevin Wade, who had to step up after the injury to Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, and without a doubt, the Giants defense missed DRC today. However, the Packers also missed Jordy Nelson, and to me, those two cancel each other out, okay? If anything, DRC may be a little more valuable than Jordy Nelson, but, again, I think they pretty much cancel each other out, so I don't want to hear that as an excuse. The Giants lost by 25. They weren't close. They were close in the first half, but they couldn't take advantage. They were up 6-0. They were absolutely shutting down the Packers, but they couldn't take advantage because Odell Beckham was dropping touchdowns, because the pass protection was having issues and whatnot. They couldn't take advantage in the first half, and because they weren't mentally in it, then in the second half, boom, halftime, what happens? The Packers make adjustments. Mike McCarthy makes adjustments. They come out in the second half, and they just blaze the New York Giants, especially in the fourth quarter. And, shame on Mike McCarthy for this, though. What a horrible decision to go for it on 4th and inches on his own field. I mean, talking about like his own side of the field, is the 42-yard line of Green Bay. Going for it there made no sense to me. Allowed the Giants to get the ball, allowed Eli Manning to throw a deep ball to DeVaris King on 2nd down for a touchdown. If it wasn't for that, the Packers win 38-6 today instead of the 38-13 that they won by today. What a horrible decision by Mike McCarthy. But anyway, it doesn't matter, right? Because the Packers win this game. They've now won 7 straight games. They look incredible offensively. Now, defensively, they still have issues. And I was tweeting during this game, and I got a little reactionary. And I said the Packers are going to the Super Bowl. And now that I think about it, that's an overreaction, right? Because I look at this defense, and I still don't like it. I like HaHa Clinton-Dix. I like Jake Ryan, Blake Martinez, Mike Daniels. Sometimes I like LaTroy Guion. But there's not enough playmakers. And the Cowboys defense, guys, it's just better. It's just better than this Packers defense with Sean Lee, the way Brandon Carr is playing this year. Morris Claiborne may be back. You look at their other players on the defensive line. They're just a better defense right now than the Packers defense. And then in terms of offensively, the Cowboys offense is pretty damn good too. And so is Aaron Rodgers. We're going to have a shootout next week. And right now, I'm not sure I'm going to pick. I feel very uncomfortable rooting and picking against Aaron Rodgers. Okay, I tried it this week and it didn't work out well. So I'm going to have to decide. I don't know who I'm going to pick right now. But again, we look at the past game, the Cowboys and Packers. You saw the Cowboys win that game 30-16. However, okay, Des Bryant wasn't playing for the Cowboys, so that's an argument for them. An argument for the Packers would be you had 4 turnovers, including a fumble by Jordy Nelson, a fumble by Aaron Rodgers, a fumble by someone else, and then an interception by Aaron Rodgers. Those 4 turnovers will not happen again. You'll be lucky to get 1 turnover against Green Bay, so that's not going to happen again. You also look at the way this Packers team was in terms of injuries at the time. They had already accumulated some injuries in their secondary, on their defense. So this is going to be a new matchup, guys. I really would not look back to that game for too much of a reference. The one thing that intrigues me, though, okay, Ezekiel Elliott got a lot of success last time against this Packers defense that has been a good run defense pretty much all year except for when they play this team. So the Cowboys I'm talking about. So I don't know. We're going to find out. But we'll talk about that on Wednesday or Tuesday. For today, Eli Manning loses in the playoffs, but man, honestly, he had a great game. Or maybe not a great game, but a good game at least. I know he had the interception if you look at the stat sheet, but that was at the final drive. I don't care about that. He was throwing his receivers open in the first quarter. He was doing everything he needed to do in terms of setting the protections and all that. He really put himself, I felt, in the best position to succeed today. He even let Eric Flowers do his thing, but then Eric Flowers let him down on 1 sack. I thought Eli Manning was damn good. And going into this game, he was my major concern for this football team. But it turns out the guys that I trusted in Odell Beckham, in Sterling Shepard, in Janoris Jenkins, who I thought mailed it in the fourth quarter. I mean, this guy was playing 10 yards off of Devontae Adams, missed him on a shallow cross, was 5 yards behind him on a shallow cross, not trying to accelerate and meet him on the other side of the football field. I don't know what Janoris Jenkins was doing in the second half. Another thing, a lot of Giants fans wonder why I criticized the contract and play of Olivier Vernon. Was today any more proof than you needed? The guy didn't show up, and you're paying him $17 million per year to be one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Where was he? I didn't see this guy today. I saw him on one play. He did a good job of pushing around the right tackle. But outside of that, I did not see Olivier Vernon today. He's overpaid. He's good, but man, the guy's overpaid. $17 million. You got to show up in a playoff game, and he didn't do that today. So, these guys that I thought I could trust on this Giants defense, I don't know where they were. The Giants wide receivers were still in Miami, and that's the case. Again, I hate to talk about it, but guys, it's the evidence. Look at the evidence. When Odell Beckham drops 2 passes, Sterling Shepard drops 2 passes, and their best wide receiver is the wide receiver that was not with them in Miami, at least not in the picture, then wow, man, the evidence is telling us something that we need to listen to. A disgraceful performance, honestly, by the New York Giants to end what has been a disappointing wildcard round. I mean, I still enjoyed it because I enjoy watching the games, analyzing, talking to you morons. I'm just kidding. And, I enjoy this. But, man, not a competitive game in the fourth quarter. No stakes, no drama in the fourth quarter at least. And whatever, it's fine. All right, so there you go. Those are my thoughts on the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. So next week, it's going to be a hell of a divisional round. Next week will not be like this week. I mean, I'm talking about 3 of these games to me are going to come down to the wire. I think Atlanta, Seattle will come very close. I think Green Bay, Dallas, very close. And I think Kansas City, Pittsburgh, very close. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very intriguing. And next week is the week I can't wait for. This week was, let's be honest, a little disappointing. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. And I'm out. Peace.